Hi everyone, I'm here today with my best friend Edel, and we are going to be talking about fear of success. Now, before I get started, there was a video that Edel and I put out on Edel's channel, Shed Your Halo, a couple of months ago, where we were talking about goal setting, about how it feels to complete a goal, and how do we celebrate our achievements. So I felt this topic would be a nice addition. Of course, even though it's on my channel, but since we do it together, I thought it would be nice to talk about fear of success because a lot of us, even when we're setting goals, I guess we are hoping that there will be a certain outcome that comes from it. Maybe you want to change your life, but going head on towards success and keeping your mind only on becoming successful, forgetting the other parts that actually play a role in getting you to that place can be detrimental to the whole process itself. So I would like to start with asking you, Adele, have you, I mean, what is your relationship with success? What does it feel like when you think about success or what success means to you?
Realistically, my relationship with success is extremely hypocritical because I say one thing, which is I want to be successful. But if you see my actions, they're always very self sabotaging. So, very, very fucked up, hypocritical relationship at best. At worst, it's completely delusional. I'm completely sold on story of, ooh, I'm a go-getter, I'm a success person. But the truth is, I do like the idea of success far more than I can stomach the reality of success. Because success feels like a lead ball at the pit of my stomach. Because now, as a person who has achieved this particular success, I'm no longer the person that was prior to that. So, who am I now? So, I'm always thrown into this abyss of existential angst at the end of achieving something, which is completely not as bad as it was before, because I truly and kindly and gently, persistently trained myself to like successes, fulfillments, achievement of goals a lot better than I used to before. So it's not as catastrophic as it was before. But now, I cannot say, to be honest, I'm not going to say I have a very functioning relationship with success. No, but I'm developing an understanding, um, um, and I think I'm getting to know that which used to unconsciously frighten me before. What about you, Janna? What is your
I'm in
relation?
the same boat as you.
Yes, no wonder we're friends.
It is not a very functional relationship because the idea of success is very, it's a bit scary for me, if I'm being honest. It is a bit scary for a couple of reasons. First thing is, of course, I want success, and whatever I assume would be success for me. But I, there are times I don't want to work towards it, and I'm just hoping it will be handed to me on a silver platter.
The cost of success is frightening, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So I think I also think that a lot of people want the success, but they don't want to put in the work that goes towards success. I want a banging body, but I will eat whatever I want. I will wake up
Yeah.
and sleep whenever I want. I'm not going
Yeah.
to exercise.
Yeah.
And we look at pictures on social media and we're like, no, you know what? I look exactly like that, and we're nowhere close to it.
A long time ago, I used to go to this gym and I didn't want to work out, but like you said, I had this dream of a banging body. So I don't know if you've seen the contraption where they have a belt attached to this vibrating machine, and I would stand for
Oh, oh
40
yeah.
minutes in there and come out looking to see if I've got a six. I was ready for that six pack, not the six pack that requires crunches.
I've I've done that as well. I've been like, yes, see, now I'm in better shape. I mean, so that's just one example of hard work. Another example would be, say there is a certain goal that you have in terms of financially wanting to achieve something, but then you keep spending money. I'm talking about myself.
I'm feeling very triggered right now. I'm very attacked.
So you spend money on things. If it is necessary, it's understandable. You know, certain things that you have to pay for on a monthly basis, taking care of rent, for example, or whatever is required. But other than that, when we start spending money on things that is not required and we need to focus on keeping things together. So that's a financial goal. So that is also hard work. So if you feel like you don't want to do it, then you're not going to achieve that level of success you would assume in your head. And personally, I think a lot of people also have a fear of success because sometimes they feel that they might turn into somebody else and not stay the same person that they are. Because what if you become someone else and you don't know who you identify, I mean, what you identify as, or you probably will lose people in your life that have been around for the longest time. Because as you become more successful, it's quite inevitable that a lot of people will drop from your life.
Yes.
And if it is whether it's financial success or fame or money or any kind of success that you would think, um, a lot of people say success brings a lot of relatives into your life, a lot of people into your life, but I think that's at a very surface level. If you really dig deeper into it, your chances of having people in your life will be a handful. So I think that's another reason why a lot of people are scared of being successful. What are the thoughts do you have on success or people that you've seen and their relationship with it?
I think success can come through two forms. One is a windfall, and the other one is harvest. A windfall is like the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree did not bear the fruits of the gifts, right? The tree and the gifts don't match. The tree is just this pretty little thing that we decorate, and then we keep the gifts under the Christmas tree. And the tree did not bear the fruits of the Christmas tree. The gifts are not the fruits of the Christmas tree. I hope I make sense. So I think there are certain times when people have windfalls happen to their life, right? Like without studying, you pass the exam. Like that's happened to me. And I felt exceptionally successful during that time. And then there are times when I've done something that I thought would go unnoticed, and then I got this spotlight put on me as a result of, and I did it with absolutely no intentions of being known for it or something. And then when I got the why did I forget the word? What the, the nice the
Opportunity?
no, the adulation for whatever it is that I did, I would feel so that's a windfall, right? So you didn't work towards something, but serendipitously something happened. You won a lottery, or you were infertile and you just fell pregnant without knowing it. You got this promotion at work that you weren't working for. So those are these amazing successes that we cannot bank on, and they feel wonderful. And that's just an example of life being benevolent, right? Then there is the steady supply of success, which is just harvesting. So you plant the seeds, you prep the soil first, you plant the seeds, you water it. It will take its time to grow. Every action has its own time of harvest. So I can't just do 10 crunches today and stand in front of the mirror and go, where's my fucking 8-pack, right? So I have to consistently keep doing that, which will harvest the 8-pack. And then maybe down the line at some point, I'll just be like, bam, with a banging body. So, but that's what it takes. A harvest type of success means you have to do that thankless, non-spotlighty, no applause, grunt work every single day. And then one day, the harvest is ready. And harvest season, whilst all of us hypocrites will celebrate Pongal like as though we're actual farmers, harvest is actually a lot of work for the people that are actually involved in food production, right? So there's so much work to be done. There's so much preparation. And even the success that comes at the end of crops being harvested is actually work. So it depends on what success we are banking our lives on. When you really dig into it, most of us are banking our life on windfall success. I'm just going to hope that I marry the right person. I'm just going to hope that I don't fall down the stairs in these stiletto heels. I'm just going to hope that I'm going to drive without the seatbelt on and nothing will happen to me even though I'm a little bit drunk. So a lot of us depend on windfall instead of actual planning, execution and grunt work. And this is not the kind of success. And I've spent my entire life hoping for windfalls. And my definition of success was windfall, right? And unfortunately, when people gossip, that's what they'll say. Oh my God, this person was like, was eating dog food and living under street lights. And now look, he's flying a private helicopter. And they make it sound like it happened overnight, like a Tamil Padam song that in 5 minutes they'll go from being a rag picker to the collector. So they make it sound like that. And I just got bamboozled into it and glamorized. And I believed true success is something that just lands on my lap. And to be honest, I think that's why I have a dysfunctional relationship with harvest success. Because I'm sold to the idea of I did nothing, it just landed on me, I'm so special, so therefore harvest success is like, oh well, then anybody can do it. Yes, anybody can do it, but are they? That's the question. Are you? That's the question. And when we work, it's lonely, it's repetitive, it's disciplined, it's just so much sacrifice. But if the goal is worthy enough, we take upon ourselves the pain of that sacrifice every single day, and we go towards that goal, and the harvest is so much sweeter as a result of. So that's my thesis on fear of success.
I think we just want to assume that we're the exception and not the
How
rule.
dare you?
So,
What I assume? I am the exception. Everybody will be like, I am the exception. That's like the most common thing ever.
so even if there is one incident where they've become successful for something that they haven't put any work into, but the rest 99% of their life is falling apart, they want to hold on to that 1% of hope that the rest 99% will just follow,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Actually, I've written down a couple of things that that I feel can be reasons why we are scared of success, and after that we can discuss about what to do to maybe change our relationship with it. So one thing was, like we said, we don't want to work hard, but we want the success. We want to be the exception and not the rule. Second thing is we are scared of becoming somebody else, and maybe dropping people from our lives. Another thing that I think you already mentioned was becoming sabotagey when it comes to actually doing the work, and then suddenly something happens and you're not able to cope with it. And I think another reason why a lot of people are scared is because success, I think it's like trying to chase happiness, and I would equate it to that. For example, if you're chasing happiness instead of doing things that make you happy, then you're going to be miserable all the time. So if you're trying to chase success without putting in the hard work and you just have success as the goal without really looking at the background picture, I think that could be another reason why we do things that are not conducive for our life to go into a successful space. So I
So,
mean, this is not a fear of success, but it's one of the things that we possibly do. Sorry,
so
you're
you're
saying
saying
something?
people, as a rule, most people try to take the road of misery towards to enter into the land of happiness.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, 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 no.
a
Okay, when you
land.
say road of When you say road of misery, what do you mean exactly?
Like, do you think the cost that you need to pay to be successful,
Hmm.
people assume that it's going to be very difficult and way more than they can afford. So as a result, they give up even before they reach the success.
I think
They
that is also another perspective. No, but
uh,
what I was talking about is it's like saying I am going to chase happiness itself, and then we start seeking out pleasures without actually looking inside to see what makes us happy or do things that make us happy. So I think success also is something that they think, okay, if I do this, then I'll become successful. So they're already looking at success as an end goal without actually doing the grunt work, like you
oh,
mentioned.
okay.
Um, so that's one thing. I mean, this is, of course, I digress here. I'm not talking about this as a fear of success. One other thing that personally I have also faced is if I have to learn something new and keep up with the changes that are happening with the time, I feel like I cannot match up to it. And I feel like it's too much hard work. Maybe there's certain technology, for example, if I have to learn something about a particular app or something that is new to me and my mind is already like, okay, I can't do this. So it takes a little bit of time for me to overcome that hurdle and give myself a chance to try something new before I can say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Another thing I feel that stops people from becoming successful or wanting to be successful is success comes with a certain amount of power. It comes with maybe fame. I mean, when I say power, I'm talking about personal power also. It could also be like being a powerful person or being a wealthy person. And sometimes having to do certain things that you don't actually want to do. Like if you were
Yes.
in a huge corporation, you might feel like that you're selling out and doing something that does not align with your values. So that could be another reason why people fear being successful. I feel that. Yeah. So, what do you think we can do to improve our relationship with success? I mean, considering we're still figuring it out for ourselves, and we
Yes.
know that we're just beginning to have not a completely functional relationship, but from wherever we are. So, what do you think are few things we can do to help that?
Number one, embrace the fact that maybe we're not successful. Embrace the fact that maybe we are failures. Embrace the fact that maybe we're not special. Embrace the fact that maybe we're extremely average. That in itself is going to be an extremely hard pill to swallow. But we need to take the pain and the edge of that which can hurt us. And once we do that, and that in itself is quite the task, right? Because I grew up with this, if I'm fearful of success, you can imagine how terrified I was of failure, right? And the fear of failure had me so paralyzed and stuck to one spot that dodging failure was my full-time job rather than pursuing success. So I just lived day by day, just trying not to be a failure. And the days I was not a failure, I didn't fail at something, and my mind could only highlight those things which I sucked at. I could not look beyond the suckage and look at the things I won at. But then again, sucking and winning at something is all a point of view, right? Um, and I had a rather detrimental point of view, I have to admit. But the turnaround in my life came when I was like, failure? Yeah, so what? I am a failure. Fuck you. So it was more like, I don't see a way out. If this is going to be the definition of my life, this is going to be the real estate I'm going to occupy for the rest of my life. Let me make it home. So I got terrifyingly comfortable with being a failure. And then slowly, once failure loses its sting, I'm not afraid to fail anymore. So I started venturing out a little bit more into finding who I am. That which was made, that which the word that made me feel so terrified Now is like, oh no, I've seen it, I know what it is. So now success is something I'm trying to learn about. And the one good thing I did serendipitously was just make a friend of failure. So the greatest sting no longer exists, right? There are tons of other stings that I'm trying to get used to, which is the grunt work. There is no glamour in it, and I'm all for the glamour. So there is no glamour. There is background music right now, but there is no background music. There's no trumpets. There's no these ballet dancers in the back of me. There's no wind machine blowing wind with my coat flying just so dramatic. There is nothing. There's just fucking silence. So this solitary pursuit of silence is something that I am learning. The second one is there's not very many people that will accompany us on the road to success. It's very silent there, right? Because successful people work in silence. They're like, let the work speak for itself in the end. Whereas fearful people, people who are not really doing anything about themselves, are already there to form a club, form conflagration of their own emotions. And they are like, and once you start speaking endlessly about, oh, your feelings, you feel so satiated and you don't move anymore. So I'm learning the deafening silence of just focusing on this one thing. And I'm struggling, to be honest, I'm struggling with that. I'm constantly fighting this need to boast, to put it up on social media. Even before the job gets done, I had this wonderful thought that I'm about to do, and I want the recognition now. It is just so. And now I can understand Photoshop. I can understand why people Photoshop six packs on. We are totally into six packs in this video, Jana. I don't know why. So this is my struggle, actually, is the silence to success. That is actually my struggle, to be honest. What is your particular struggle, your Achilles heel?
I I I think it's almost the same because
Hmm.
I want to be validated for just waking up and being myself. Like, why do I need to work any harder, right?
Yes, we're so
But
special.
But of course, that's not going to come. And especially that's not going to come when you're living by yourself. You literally are by yourself and there's quiet around you. Even if you had some people around you, maybe there's a little bit of conversation and you find, a few snippets of, oh, you're doing so well. But when you're living by yourself, you don't even have that. So for me, a lot of times it's just trying to applaud myself for doing even the small things that may not fall under the bracket of successful. But I feel like, okay, I've done one thing that I decided that I was going to do today. So maybe it's not so bad. So the hard work part of it is, of course, it's a bit of a struggle. And especially with the social media, and you see so many pictures of fit people, people traveling all over the world, putting out amazing content into the world, and you want to do all of that, and you think, okay, how am I going to get this done? So for me, also the let's work hard part of it is, yeah, it's quite a bit. I think another way to look at it would be maybe for some people they have a poor relationship with their family because of which they're afraid of success. Maybe look at the root cause of why you don't want to be successful. Does it mean you're going to be loyal to somebody back home? Are you going to be loyal to your parents if you are less ambitious or less successful? Maybe that's one thing that people could look at. Because not for me personally, but I have seen that as a setback for a lot of other people who don't want to earn more money or who think that if they earn a lot of money, they have to donate it completely because their parents think that's the right thing to do. But in their heart, they don't feel good doing that. Because personally, I do know a couple of people like that. So I think these are a couple of things you could address. And I think another thing to find a good support system would help us, right? For example, like you and I, we discuss every week what we plan to do, and then we hold each other accountable to what we are working on. So I think having a good support system helps a lot. And I suppose therapy also would help a bit if you want to talk to somebody and get it out there and try to address what your root cause is to deal with the fear of success. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Nothing is as we imagine it to be. Like I said, we may like the glamour of success, not so much the work of it. It's a guarantee. None of us are going to like the harvest. We are going to love the windfall, not the harvest. And the weirdest thing is, as we work towards the harvest, that's when the windfalls happen. A little bit more with a greater sense of regularity than anything else. So maybe the thought a windfall could propel us just a little bit further down the road, closer to our goals, could be another way to goad ourselves into success. Because what is the option? Just marinate in our own filth in the present moment or be somebody different? That just, I took it too far. I
That
apologize.
is that is painting quite a picture.
I'm sorry. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I think also it might help to think of the positive outcomes that success can bring you. Maybe do like a visualization exercise to see what it feels like to be on the other side. Think of maybe it gives you a very, very good sense of self-esteem because you're working towards something and it gives you confidence in yourself. It helps you trust yourself more to be accountable to yourself. There is like you said, regularity is obviously it's something that we need to be working on. And I think it also helps when there is a certain amount of stability and we're not shocking our system into uncertainty all the time, which means your body will trust you a little more, your mind will trust you a little more to let you take those risks which you would otherwise not even think of doing. So I think having regular check-ins with yourself is very important. And don't jump on the bandwagon to react to every single thing as and when it happens, but take some time to step back and just look at certain scenarios and think how it's going to help you or hurt you. Think of all the like people you could be meeting, making new friends, making, like a circle of networking buddies that you have, and, maybe think of what the things that you can buy with all the financial success that you have. So I think these are a few positive um, visualization exercises that you could um, work on. But of course, if any of this triggers you, you always have to go back to the root cause to find out why. That internal work, I guess, it never stops. So yeah, that's it for me. Anything else, Adele, you want to say?
No, yeah, I think we're done. Yeah.
All right. So you guys, I hope you enjoy this video. And if you like the video, please click like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye bye.